You're here for a reason. You're here looking for solutions. You're here looking for better parenting. You're here looking for leadership. And I believe that's what your children's outbursts have done to give you a huge desire to be better parents than everybody else on the planet. Hey, does your child have hyperactivity, impulsive, lack of focus, basically what they call ADHD? And are you looking for ways, and maybe you've been looking for ways for a really long time, to create more peace, harmony, and success, teamwork in your home? How about success for your child at home, at school, and in life? If these things are important to you, today we are going to share the 4 steps to empower your ADHD child's superpowers. Now, that might be the first time you've ever heard the term superpower when it comes to ADHD. And we're going to share with you today why we call the outbursts of behavior, the disruptions, the screaming, the whining, the fighting, the calls from the school. We're going to share with you why they are superpowers. You know, when I met Thomas in 2011, I was personally developed, but my children were not. I had 4 children, ages 7, almost 10, 11, and 12. Yes, I had them all at once. I just wanted to be a parent. I thought I was going to be the best parent. I thought that I would love my children so much that we would avoid terrible twos and teenage rebellion. Anybody else feel the same way? Like, I'm going to be different than my parents were, and I'm going to have these great children. But by the time I met Thomas in 2011, they were all being diagnosed with ADHD, oppositional defiant disorder, anxiety, and depression. And when I saw Thomas speak to my children in a different way than I'd ever saw anybody speak to children before, I thought, oh my gosh, you can actually parent with goals. You can teach your children to set goals and to work towards them. And so he had this special language I started to use in my home. And over a 6-month period, every single one of my children completely transformed before my eyes. They went from like the worst behaved danger to the classroom. My youngest son threw his desk across the whole classroom in grade 2. They had to evacuate the classroom. The psychologist told me he was the worst case of ODD she had ever seen. And he became the most respectful, most cooperative, most outstanding 7 and 8-year-old that I had ever witnessed in a really short period of time. And I started searching online, like, hey, like, who else parents like this? Who else teaches life skills as a focus in their parenting? Who else teaches their children to earn their own privileges? And I couldn't find anything. And 11 years later, I still can't find anything. And so I felt morally obligated as a leader to bring these strategies, these principles to every single parent in the world who would listen. ADHD kids have the voice to speak up. ADHD kids and oppositional defiant disorder children are the ones that refuse to comply, that refuse to like be put inside of the box of who you think they should be. That's the Einsteins, the Edisons, the Steve Jobs, the Bill Gates of the world. They all quit school and they don't have the formal education. They specialize at a very young age to do what they do with specialized knowledge.